what happened in 2020?
So it was actually New Year's Eve coming into 2020. I found myself. The backstory is I've wanted a coffee van forever. My love of coffee, I've wanted a coffee van forever, but it had to be a Citroen HY. So New Year's Eve coming into 2020 with friends and finding myself uh, saying I want a coffee van and thinking I'm still talking about it, still talking about I want a coffee van. So in the January, I bought the coffee van. I thought, right, I had I had some savings. I'm going to find a van. I bought the van. Now it's going to happen. So I had the van delivered in January 2020. I handed my notice in at work, and it was a 3 months notice period. So handed this in. The 3 months period took me up to April. Lockdown, a curveball that I never saw coming at all. And that was when I was due to start. But fortunately, I had everything lined up to start. I had my coffee roaster, I had my suppliers, everything in place. And my coffee roaster was based very close to Bristol Ambulance Service on Feeder Road.
Yeah.
And their staff, the paramedics, would use my roaster to buy their coffee. Um, they couldn't buy any coffee because everywhere was closed. So one had a word with the other, and I was invited down to the Bristol Ambulance station, and I made them coffee while they were serving the public, serving the nation. And I waited for my application for a street trader's license to begin. So it all worked out. August 2020, I started here.
The second question will be, what do you think people should know before they start a business like that? Let's say someone was dreaming about a coffee shop, van, and I know there's quite a few people who would like a business like that, where they're mobile, but also they have something of their own, and very often connected with coffee because coffee is very popular in England, which I didn't know before I moved into England.
I've always, I said before, my love of coffee started early. So that was essentially what fueled me to want to be in this industry with no business plan whatsoever. I had no plan. I bought the van because I wanted to make it happen. No plan. When I had the van, I then thought, okay, so I still have a job. I need to resign from my job. So that's the first step. Okay, then I'll need coffee. So then I find a coffee roaster and the suppliers. And speaking to the coffee roaster, every ounce of information that I could get from a coffee business to be involved in the industry, I absorbed this information and just asked questions. Everything just one after the next. It was never a master plan.
So it was just organic. So you just you dived in, and you just step by step were finding out on the go. Yeah.
Organic is
So
the best.
would you say that if you would wait until the perfect plan will forge, then you would never start?
There's never a perfect time.
No.
It's just there are I said when I shortly after opening, when people are asking me about the business, I described it as being all the stars aligning. This was my time. This was my time to do what I wanted to do because I had the space, I had the freedom to think for myself, to think I don't have the pressures from my employer. I don't have my I separated from my wife. It was all about me. What's my philosophy of life? My philosophy of life is to be kind.
Yeah.
I think I feel that almost every decade I've lived, I've evolved. I've learned and learned through lots of experiences that have shaped me to be the person I am today. Some difficult times, uh, death included, dealing with loss, grief of family members. I've died a couple of times myself, so the appreciation for life that comes through these things, and and the understanding of how it also affects others. So, uh, losing myself down a rabbit hole with that thought, but I think ultimately be kind to each other, and treat others how you expect to be and hope to be treated yourself.
Beautiful. Thank you. So the last and very famous question: where people can find you in terms of your business and also on social media?
Oof.
Yes. Where they
So,
can find the best coffee in the city?
the best coffee in Bristol
Yes.
allegedly can be found right here at Mi Cafe Sous Cafe. Celine, the Citroen HY, on the Bristol to Bath Railway path in Fish Ponds.
Yes, and let's show where exactly it is. We'll go to the right, and there is Morrison parking. There we go.
Parking right there.
Yeah.
Um, Social media, I can be found on Instagram, Mi Cafe 2020, when the business started. Facebook, Mi Cafe Sous Cafe, also Mi Cafe Sous Cafe Fish Ponds. See what we did there? And there's a site we've just launched some merchandise. Funnily enough, good timing. Is micafesoucafe.shop. All one word, micafesoucafe.shop.